Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Me Shooting Off at the Mouth, as I think we call this. So, do you remember the time when you were learning how to ride the cycle or learning how to drive a car? And remember how tightly you gripped the steering or the handlebars? And the less you knew, the more tightly you gripped. I think that's pretty much the situation, at least which is there in Gujarat. That the grip of the administration is becoming tighter, not looser. That is probably because they are not learning how to drive, at least not very quickly. So at the end of at the end of two lockdowns, when 3.0 was supposed to be a little more liberal, we are getting tighter restrictions, more roads closed, more Naka Bandi, no shops opening, more of the stamp of the jackboot. These are not great times. And you know, the situation now has become such that today the clampdown is stricter than it was earlier. Surely no lockdown is supposed to go on for that long. Today, in today's Times of India, Ruchir Sharma says that the risk is that leaders with autocratic tendencies will come out of this more enabled to control society, because this lockdown feeds into their controlling tendencies even otherwise. It feeds into their puritanical tendencies. Think of yesterday's Delhi government's decision to impose 70% tax on the MRP. The MRP of liquor. The MRP of liquor already contains a huge portion of tax. Then there is tax on tax. And because it appeals to somebody's puritanical ideas, they said, yeah, sin tax, 70%, take it. I don't know whether we are going in the right way. So, this is as far as the Raja is concerned. Let's talk about the Praja, that common Joes like you and me, who are not in administration, who are not in government. In today's op-ed page article, Prasun Joshi in The Express uses a wonderful comparative. He talks about the common man and those people who use the term common man to describe the common man. This is how he makes the divide. The people who use the term are English-speaking urban dwellers like you and me, who sitting sometimes quite literally in our high towers, as I am doing, talk about the common man. Now, who is this common man? I'll tell you who he is not. He is not a person who has these three things. And this is my test. Sorry. He doesn't have fridge, flat, or Facebook. What do I mean by fridge? Oh, these are symbolic. Fridge means he doesn't have these electronic goods, air conditioning, refrigerators, washing machines, to make his lockdown life easy. The common man does not own the roof over his house. Probably lives in a kholi, rented acco, unable to do social distancing even if he wanted. And Facebook. What is Facebook? They all have phones. Everybody has a phone now. But they don't have the intellectual capacity to engage with the world through electronic media. The only thing that they can do is talk to their native place and खैरियत पूछ लेते हैं. So this is one segment, the common man. Then there are guys like us, and I've seen that across the classes of the various people I talk to, the guys who are possessed of these three enablers are pretty much unanimous in their favor of continuing the lockdown. Now, why is that? that the people who are so endowed with these tools, why are they in favor of the lockdown? I think it is primarily because they want to protect themselves. Two, there is no great inconvenience caused to them by the lockdown. We are all sitting on some measure of reserve of cash and funds. We'll tide this through. So these are the people who want, and of course the people in power, they just love a good lockdown. They post food videos, that unspeakable thing called the Dalgona coffee, and some guy posts yet another crazy dish he invented using papayas and mangoes and potatoes, God knows what. Now these are the guys who favor the lockdown. They are all numbering. I number all my friends among those, barring a few. They say, नहीं बाबा, अभी लॉकडाउन तो चलना चाहिए, ठीक है. Now who are the other guys? As against that, we have the other guys who are the worried lot, the common men. These are the informal labor, handyman, self-employed, your domestic servants at home, your driver, the mali comes to your bungalow or your apartment building, the sabzi wala, the barber, the guy who repairs punctures. These are all common man. And man, am I telling you, they are hurting. They are hurting really bad. And who speaks for them? Who speaks for these people? Because they don't talk in the medium that you and I are talking in. So, my colleague and friend Sujay Adeshra did a lot of research, and I'll be posting a link of his research in the description of this video. And he found out that from day one, that is to say day zero, 23rd March, some people have been talking about the life or livelihood versus lockdown debate, lives versus lockdown debate. He has done a lot of good research, and if you want to see any backing to what I am going to say hereafter, you please click the link and you will see all the links excuse me, and a very helpful graph at the end of the links. So do take the time and trouble to verify those links. And this is the conspectus, the overall picture of that research VC has done. On 23rd of March, Kamal Hassan called this. He urged the PM to take swift steps to see that livelihoods are not lost. On 24th, the New York Times talked about the lives versus livelihood debate. On 2 days later, Slate magazine called it. Somebody else said social distancing is not an option for India, and they are partly right. Then came 25th, the coronavirus versus livelihoods debate. No reason to think that lockdown will solve virus by Prashant Kishore, one-time advisor and bestie of our PM. Then entertainment industry, on or about the 25th of March. Remember, 25th of March said entertainment and film industry will want a $60 million, will take a $60 million hit now that the lockdown has come. And we are still in March. Then on 26th March they talk about reverse migration. On 9th, on 26th itself, trade unions asked the government that we will need a 6 to 7 lakh crore relief package to alleviate the plight of the laborers. Hindustan Times on that very day ran an article about saving lives in the time of lockdown. On March 30th and 31st, 5 articles in Outlook, Mint, Times of India, lockdown versus livelihood debate. And this goes on. On 1/4, Kamal Hassan reminds the PM. I'm just going fast through it. On 8/4 to 14/4, a very rich day for the lockdown versus livelihood debate. The Hindu, uh, uh, Narayan Murthy's article in the Hindu about the life versus livelihoods versus lockdown. The Niti Aayog vice chairman, he is part of the apparatus. He talks about the economic times and sounds a note of worry. And he says we should have to choose between lives and livelihoods. So serious people in the administration are also flagging this concern as long back as nearly a month ago. Then on 22nd of April, Venkaiah Naidu, our Prime Vice President, he addresses the issue of livelihood. Of course, he was specifically talking about those people who are returning from the Gulf. But he says that livelihood is a big problem. We've done the life saving, now let's do the livelihood saving. 28-4 to 3-5, the big guns are rolling out now. The CEO of Niti Aayog, Amitabh Kant, he graded opening will be needed to protect livelihood. Outlook magazine says mainstream talks about the dilemma ahead. How to open, how much to open, what to control, what not to control, and talks about the need to take a graded approach. BBC talks about how the world's workers, this is not an India problem. People say, oh, you are the chattering classes and you just jholawala. No, this is a problem across the world. And if we will not manage it and we will not differentiate between brutal lockdown and reasonable control measures, we will definitely lose the livelihood war, whether we lose the lives war or not. So this is the conspectus of articles which has been sounding this note of caution since quite a long time ago. What is our response? What is the response of the government? More of the same. More lockdowns, more controls. And I was talking to some lockdown favoring friends of mine and talking about containment areas. And right now, if there is a road with a basti on it where there are 50 cases, they shut the whole road down, even if it is 1 kilometer long. We will have to rethink this. I stay in a kind of bylane. There is a cul-de-sac about 200 meters long. And if God forbid there is a case in my building, they'll shut the whole street down and lots of people will be affected. That will have to change. We'll have to have more selective locking down, more selective restrictions. And as far as possible, we'll have to try and keep things open. I just saw a video of Harish Salve. He says, forget about controls, forget about mistrust of the people. Trust people and put money in their pockets. This money in their pockets thing is very, very necessary. Now, just see one of the absurdities of the lockdown which has come now. We are in May. Ahmedabad and much of North India is not a great place to be inside a modern constructed home in May. It gets hot, it gets stuffy. The only relief you have is some hawa in the evening. So what have our lords and masters sitting just not that way in Gandhinagar time? No getting out of the house after 7 p.m. Dude, this is the time we wait. You want to prevent social aggregation. So then talk to people about social aggregation. Don't tell them that I'm locking you up in the house. If the aim is to prevent aggregation, educate people about that. But of course, some cynical among you will be saying, oh, but log to seekhte hi nahi hai. Seekhenge. Sikhana hoga. But lockdown is no answer. To say, okay, since the robbers are robbing the bank and escaping, let's have bad roads, or let's ban cars, something absurd like that. Uh, and lastly, when you lock down and curtail some liberties, you will automatically and as a necessary corollary curtail others. Mark my words, even as we speak, liberties of workers, the liberty to live a life, are being taken away. Just in today's newspaper, Times and Express, the two papers which I take, there are pictures of workers in Surat who are one step short of open civil riot. They are demonstrating and they are clashing with the police. Let's not wait till the lockdown becomes so brutal that the common man, lovely word, lovely phrase, common man takes the law into his own hands. Under the guise of lockdown, all freedoms are being thrown under the wheel of this great measure, this juggernaut. Every freedom is going to be crushed because, as Ruchir Sharma says, the leaders who come out of this will have tasted the sweetness, the sweet fruit of absolute power. That, according to me, is the worst criticism of the lockdown, because it shows us a dystopian world where our liberties will always be subordinated to some other imagined good cause. Thank you. Good day.